Hello, happy Wednesday. First of all, do want to apologize for missing last week. As most of you know, I'm right around the corner from having a baby. We did not do that yet. I just had a little bit of pregnancy brain, completely forgot what day it was. So, having said that, we are planning baby next week, if not sooner. But for now, we're going to keep rolling. And then I will do my best to get out a quick update. If we are going to need to pause for a minute, but my intention is to still continue to do these, even if they might not be super pretty. So fingers crossed I'm not in the hospital on a Wednesday, but we are super close. I'm huge, not here yet. So rocking and rolling. Today we are going to be talking about roles in the transaction, most specifically what your role is. So obviously we've gone over a little bit about the importance of having a good team around you, an agent, a lender, and title company who are all working for your good. Same thing with inspectors, anything like that. But something a lot of people don't consider as being a piece of the puzzle is how they play a role as well. So, especially as a first-time home buyer, and we'll be talking about, all different aspects of clients, but specifically as a first-time home buyer, it's a lot of new information. Even if you're not new to it, things may have changed. So don't be afraid to ask questions. We want to make sure that you're being just as proactive as we are, because that's going to make your transaction as smooth as possible. We're here to help. Me specifically, I'm making sure everyone's on track, including you, keeping up with timelines, handling all the paperwork, ensuring that everything is smooth. But we need your help too. So, for example, I have one that was originally supposed to close Monday. Hiccups happen. We're not closing yet. Hopefully today. If not, we should tomorrow. But the reason for that is, again, everyone needs to be proactive and on their timelines. So when we're pushing inspection or appraisal really close to our closing date, and then appraisal requires things and the appraiser needs to come back out, that's pushing us. And then if there are repairs that need to be done and the seller takes a week or two to get to them, which happened, it's normal. Not everyone can just make repairs in a day. Then that pushes it too. And so these are all things that most of the time can be prevented, sometimes can't. So just make sure that you are flexible as well, as best you can be. We do everything possible to ensure that it is completely on time, but just know your closing date on the contract is tentative and a goal. It is not 100% certain. Things can happen. So this buyer of mine is phenomenal. He has been extremely proactive. Everything I need him to sign, he's doing it within a couple hours, asking all the right questions, rearranging his work to accommodate closing. And we're doing the best we can to give a heads up of like, hey, I may need to move. Do we want to go ahead and push it, or are we going to try to see if today works? And so sometimes that happens. Right now, it's an I don't know. We're winging it. It may close today. It may be tomorrow. But everyone involved is aware and making it work. And that's a huge thing, because it can easily turn sour if someone hasn't been prepped that things happen. So welcome to the wonderful world of real estate, where contracts are contracts, but sometimes we need to be a little bit adjustable, I guess. But all that to say, as a buyer, you need to be flexible. You also need to be proactive. Again, if he had not been so quick to sign an extension, then maybe we wouldn't have everything done. We got repair requests out really quickly so that sellers had the time to look over them, decide what they were going to do. We didn't have to push out that timeline. And everything has just been as smooth as we can make it on our end, from like an agent buyer perspective, because he has been such a great team player. So that's what you can do. If we send you a document, don't sit on it for days. Everything in real estate is time sensitive. So yeah, from a buyer standpoint, main things are make sure you have a good lender, good agent, good inspector, hit all your timelines. Don't wait to turn in your earnest money. Don't wait to schedule your inspections. Even if you have 2 weeks to do them, try to get them done in the soonest availability that inspector has, because you may need a specialist to come out. And then you want to give those sellers as much time as you can to decide what repairs they're doing or not, because they may need to get quotes to determine if they can afford it. And all of that just comes from a place of urgency and, again, just being really proactive. That can make it so much smoother. Don't be afraid to ask questions. We want you to know what you're doing. From the seller side, same thing. You need to be accommodating. If you are selling your home, people are going to want to look at it. Yes, that's annoying. All agents are a little bit different, and also even how I operate depends on my client and their needs. Most of the time, I'm trying to list the home towards the end of the week and then do an open house Saturday and Sunday. It's inconvenient for that weekend, but then we're getting as many people through as possible up front, hopefully causing less one-off showings that are going to, get you out of your house and be kind of inconvenient. But keep it as maintained as possible, as cleaned up as possible. If you need advance notice, say you have small children or pets and you need to be able to get time to get them out of the house, that's okay. But then we need to know that. That's something I go over. If your agent doesn't go over that, just make a point to say, hey, we can't get out of the house in 10 minutes, so we're going to need at least an hour or two advance notice. Or, hey, our pets are out while we're at work, so we really need to know the day before what showings are going to be that day, just as long as we're at work, so that we can, make sure we have accommodations for the pets. Or, even if it's crating them or stopping on your lunch break, anything like that that's going to make it easier for you to show your house, be proactive and tell your agent. Again, same thing with going back to the one we're currently working on this week, is that too, sellers also have to be proactive. The faster we get a response, the faster repairs are done, if any are agreed to or needed. It all pushes it forward. And this listing agent has been phenomenal. He was out of town in a conference, and I didn't even know it until I saw it on social media, because he has been just immediately responsive via text and getting everything worked out as best he can. And then, just kind of waiting on those sellers. So those are the main things, is just make sure that you are playing your part. Obviously, this is what we do all day. We know that you don't necessarily have that kind of time, and that's why you're hiring. Is that, we do this every day. It's normal. We're the experts on it. We can get it done, but it is a partnership. I can't do anything if you're not signing the documents, because it's not my house. Trying to think. Again, pregnancy brain and winging it as usual, but this is something that we don't talk about a lot, so I definitely want to make sure to cover it. Other things too are before you even get started. Obviously, once we sit down and go over your listing paperwork or your plan to purchase, we're going to run through what the process looks like, what I need from you, what you can expect of me, all of the questions answered, things like that. But if you expect that you'll be buying or selling in the next year or two, go ahead and reach out now. I know that sounds weird. It sounds like I'm going to say, oh, well, the market, blah, blah, you should put your home in the market now. No. The reason is because a lot of these things you can prepare for. Well, if it's selling, we'll go through your home, see anything I see that a buyer is going to point out. Little things like paint go a long way. So if there are small home improvement things that you can do to ensure that it's not going to be asked of you later or get you less money later, we want to go ahead and get a jump on that now, when you can budget for it and a lot of time to get it done. In buying, the same thing. You don't want to wait till you're a month or two out from your lease being up. and you're going to get pre-approved, and now there's a hiccup, and maybe you haven't had your credit line open long enough, or you need to pay down a credit card, or maybe you are self-employed and haven't been there long enough to count it, or whatever the case may be. We want to go ahead and catch that on the front end. If you're in a perfect position now, awesome. You'll be even better when you're ready. But if you're not, we want to know that, and we want to take the steps to get you there before that time comes, so that you're not delaying your goals. You're ready to go and you're in the best position possible. So biggest things, be proactive. Don't wait. Reach out early. Get a plan together. And listen to your agent. Again, a little biased, but we know what we're doing. Everything is for a reason. If you disagree or have questions, concerns, definitely bring those up. We're a team. We want to work through them together. But I'm not going to tell you to do something that is not good for you. That is literally illegal. But also, there's a reason we would do what we do. So I got very distracted. I'm sorry. But I hope that this has been helpful. We next week should hopefully still have one of these. I'll be a day away from induction if she hasn't come already. So we'll kind of play it by ear. But I'm still working, as always, because y'all know I'm crazy. So if you need anything, I do have my wonderful boys in the office are available if you need feet on the ground and I'm not there. But again, I'm going to always have my phone on me. So if I'm not actively having a child, I will be available. Reach out with questions and we'll get you situated.